I miss having the headphones. The first episode we had the headphones and you could hear yourself and it was kind of cool.
You are good whenever.
Okay, let me just take another.
Oh, baby. The Nortons 411.
Do I have anything in my nose?
Do I look okay?
Your makeup looks a little bit. No, I'm kidding.
It probably does.
No. Take a deep breath, take a sip, and then we'll be...
I'm not shaky. Come on.
Okay. I feel like we've been friends for forever, but like we literally just met like what?
Yeah, because I remind you of your sister that you fought.
All right, are we ready? What's up, Bree? Welcome to the Better Half podcast. I'm so excited to have you sitting at Paseo Hotel. There's a wedding going on, so we can't sit in the normal location, but hey, we made it a little special for you. We've been talking on Instagram for like, I don't know, a few months.
A while.
Yeah, so we've kind of had a relationship.
Yeah. I stalked a little bit beforehand, and then I found you.
I feel like you kind of have to.
Yeah, 100%. I needed to like find someone. I needed an in, even though like I didn't count my husband as an in. I was like, I need to find a girlfriend.
I mean, of course, you can't just move across the country.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay, yeah.
So let's bring it back to when you met your significant other and who he is.
Okay. I am married to Storm Norton, and he is offensive tackle, number 74. We went to high school together. So I met him, I know, I feel like everyone says that, but we went to high school together. And so we met freshman year. We always had like the same friend group, I guess. So he played football and basketball, and then like he did track. I was a cheerleader, danced, and I did track.
Oh, the classic cheerleader football player.
Yeah. But okay, so at the time though, like I had a boyfriend. But
dun, dun,
dun, dun, dun.
T.
I know. T. Yeah, so I had a boyfriend, but Storm like literally did not care. He'd always like send me cute little messages, like DM like through Facebook. I went
throwing it way back.
Yeah, throwing it way back. And he would always flirt, and I just like, you know, wasn't like there. And I had a boyfriend, so I didn't really like think anything of it. So yeah, I met in high school, and it wasn't until his I don't want to answer that if you're gonna ask.
What? Oh, I was gonna ask. So when you guys started dating?
Yeah. So when we started dating, we, like I said, we've always had the same friend group, so he was always there. Like we literally lived a half a mile from each other, like my mom's house and his parents' house. So he was always there.
That's crazy because Nicolette and her fiance lived like down the street from each other.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was just like right there. So I was actually doing a friend of his girlfriend's hair one night, and she was like, I'm going to meet up with like Storm and Logan at this place, like after you want to go get dinner with them. I'm like, yeah, sure. Like I haven't seen Storm in like so long. So we met up, and that's literally when it started.
And then you guys were just boyfriend and girlfriend
just kept talking and like just didn't stop. It was
and the next day you guys were married. No.
Yeah,
So was this in college that you guys like became official, or was it in high school still?
No, college. So it was like kind of like towards the end of his senior year in college.
Okay.
And he like moved into my apartment almost like right away.
Y'all moved fast.
Yeah, which is funny because before that I didn't know like that I even wanted those things, especially like being at the age that we were.
Right.
But like you don't know until you're actually with like the right person. And so it was like wild when he would like start talking about it. I was like, okay, I'm not mad about this.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and you had told me when I feel like it was a few weeks ago, you were like, I was thinking about having kids, but like I didn't really know yet.
Yeah.
Until you met Storm, and then you were like, okay,
100%.
I can now finally see myself having kids, getting married, and like doing those life things.
Yeah, 100%. It was always just so easy. Like it was always just so easy with him because prior it was just like, I felt like I was like ahead of everything, like, or anyone that I was like with. It just, we weren't ever like on the same
wavelength.
Yeah. And when, you know, Storm and I like rekindled everything, it was just like so easy. Like we wanted the same exact things, and he made me want the things that I didn't know I wanted.
Oh, this is so sweet. So you guys started dating, and how long were you dating when he stopped college football and started training for the draft?
Yeah. So, not long, like a month. Which was scary because I didn't know like what you do before like a draft. Like
none of us did.
Literally, I had no idea. And so I was like, okay, like you have to go to Cleveland or Cincinnati, was either one of the two, and he would like go back and train for the week and then come back. And I'm just like, okay. And then when draft came, I was like, oh boy, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Like, I don't know. I've watched shows, and I've told you this. I was scared because I saw I don't want to like say the name, but I was like watching a show that was out there, and I was like, okay, I am not this person. Like, these girls are not the type of people that like I could.
Right.
I'm not that type of person. So I was nervous when it happened, and I was like, I don't know. Like, I was obviously you have to be happy for them. Like, obviously I was happy that's like.
But it's a lot of change coming up.
It is so much change all at once.
And I mean, Storm got to train in Ohio. Isaac moved across the country to Arizona. I'm like, what do they have training-wise in Arizona? But like, you have to be supportive of all those decisions.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like there's just so much anxiety and like the wait in those few months waiting and while they're training for the draft.
Yeah.
It's just, you're just like, wait, what's about to happen?
Yeah, it's wild. And it was like so much anticipation because he was, you know, obviously leaving every week to go train, and then he would have the East-West Shrine game. Like, they would have those games before the draft, and I was just like, wow, what is about to happen? Like,
well,
I was
also
nervous.
In new relationships, you're like, this is a lot.
Like,
really
it was
quick.
brand new. Everything was brand new. And at one point, he I'll never forget this. God. I'll never forget this. This man goes, I just feel like I need some time to focus on these things right now. And I'm like, oh, bet. Okay. He goes, can I take you out to dinner to talk about it? And I'm like, absolutely not, buddy. Like, you pretty much just dumped me. You're not taking me out to dinner to explain what to me.
So mean.
And he goes, oh, never mind. Like, it's fine. I'm like, yeah. Like, I don't play that game.
So you just refused? You're like, you're not breaking up with me. I'm not going to dinner.
No, I said, I'm not going to dinner. You can break up with me all you want, but I'm not going to dinner with you. There's nothing to explain to me.
Oh. And then obviously you guys were together.
Yeah, we were fine.
Yeah.
We were fine. I was just like,
was it just I feel like there's under so much stress. You just kind of have to sometimes just like ride 100%. The wave.
100%.
Isaac and I would get in a fight in the morning. He would get annoyed about something really minor, like you didn't respond to my text quick enough. And then in the evening, he calls me. He's like, "Hey, what are you having for dinner?"
Yeah,
I'm just
it's like, oh, we're fine. It's fine. We're fine.
I'm just like attributing it to all of the NFL stress. Like, we'll get past this.
Good times. Good times.
The draft comes. And how was that weekend? Because I know for me and Isaac, that was I've never seen him that stressed out before.
Yeah.
It was just.
So Storm is not a nervous person at all. Like,
I don't know how I've still not met Storm, by the way, just saying.
Really weird, but I have mentioned that we should all hang out.
Storm, I'm waiting on you.
Tea. Just kidding.
No tea.
No tea. So draft. So Storm doesn't get nervous, and even for games, he usually doesn't get nervous. But I could tell that he was like a little on edge, and it didn't help that during the draft, I was like sitting next to him, and people kept calling, and it's like, you don't call.
Oh yeah.
You don't call, and it was teams calling. Yeah, and he was, you know, it got down to like the last round and like last picks, and it wasn't like, it just didn't happen, and I had to like console myself and like to be able to just be like no emotion pretty much for me, so I can like be there for him. And I was just like, you know, it's gonna be okay, like it's gonna be fine. And then he's signed as a free agent with Detroit.
I did not know Detroit was the first team.
Yeah,
Which,
Detroit.
like, shout out Detroit just because I'm from there. That's the only reason why.
Yeah, so it was convenient. That was nice because we could still stay. We stayed
Because you
home.
guys are from Ohio.
Yeah, we lived right on the border. We got a house right on the border, and he was just the drive. He hated the drive, but we were still able to
Did he drive
be
that
home.
every day? How long is that?
Like an hour.
Okay, like that's like a commute.
It's-
but when it's
He might
physical,
correct me when he hears this. He'd be like, it was longer than that.
you're like, I thought it was an hour.
Yeah, but I do know that he hated that drive. But it was nice because we could, stay home, whatever.
Right. Family and friends too. I feel like that's a huge thing going into the NFL because you need some like support.
Yeah, for sure.
And did you have Riker?
No,
Okay.
not yet.
I'm moving too fast.
No, it's okay. We did get pregnant soon after that. Yeah. So after we actually decided to get pregnant while he was with Detroit. So yeah, like a month in or like a few weeks in, we decided to get pregnant.
Right.
And that was actually funny because I was obviously having conversations with my family, and we didn't tell his family at all that we were trying, but my mom knew, and I had to talk with my grandma. And
Hi, Grandma. Just want to let you know.
Ooh. My mom was, I think for me, it was more so like, I've told you this, I think having a baby is way more commitment than marriage. And I was still on edge about marriage just because you hear so many stories and it scared me. I didn't want to put pressure on a relationship.
Right.
So yeah, we got pregnant and then he left again.
So was this in the middle of his first season?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't have to go into detail because I know that is one of the worst days. Isaac gave me that phone call in his first. It was a week after he realized he was on the 53-man roster, and a week later, he gives me a phone call. I'm sitting in my college class, and he goes, "Hey, I really need you to answer." And I go, "Uh-oh." I go out of my class, and he's like, "Hey, I just got cut, so for 24 hours, I'm just kind of waiting. Maybe I'll be on the practice squad. Maybe I'll get picked up. So I'll keep you updated." I go,
Cool.
and so I just hang up the phone. I'm like, how am I supposed to go back to class?
Yes, right.
So what was that? You don't have to go into, as long as you guys are comfortable, but.
Yeah. So he actually never signed to the 53-man.
Okay,
Not
so
until this year. This was his first year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Congratulations, sir.
Thanks. Yeah. It was amazing.
So he was on practice squad?
He was a free agent practice squad.
Okay.
So then Arizona, he was with Arizona for a little while.
So they gave him a call.
Squad. Yeah. And when I was pregnant, he goes, "Hey, I think you should quit your job and move out here." I said,
sis, I don't know about that.
Sorry to say it, but with the track record right now, I don't think that's smart. Right. I was just trying to be honest, and I was working. I was like, I'm not quitting my job.
Yeah,
who knows what's going to happen? We don't know what's going to happen. So I was like, no, and then got let go, and then Minnesota. Yeah, we were there for a little while.
So did you ever move to Arizona?
No,
okay.
Never moved to Arizona. No. So then we moved to Minnesota practice squad, and Riker was only a month old when we moved.
Wow.
I know. So we planned him perfectly. We had him right in the off season, and then we moved.
I feel like that's what every couple in the NFL hopes for.
You have to do it. I know it's not that easy, but thank God, because now he's talking about another baby, and I'm like, okay, April, we'll have to start in April. And he goes, I don't want to wait that long. I was like, well, do you want to have a baby during the season? No, I don't.
Which I had a friend that he was at an away game, and his wife was giving birth, and he was on FaceTime for his firstborn. And I'm just like, I have no idea. He wouldn't play the game. I'm just like, how can, I understand you have to. You don't have a choice. You're not like, hey, coach, can I take the jet back?
Yeah, absolutely. And exactly, because it just doesn't happen. And that's my fear. There's no way I would go through labor without Storm. I couldn't do it.
I promise I would take a video of me screaming and
just be like, cute. Yeah.
Put him on live.
Yeah.
Like, hi.
So I was like, you want to play another baby? We're going to do it in these months. It doesn't happen. We're going to wait until next year because it's not going to happen.
Right.
So Minnesota.
So how did you feel about, I mean, you have a 1-month-old, you're a new mom. How do you feel about leaving your family, your support system?
Not easy at all.
I feel like as a mom that like takes so much courage to leave everything you know, and like that was the first time moving out of Ohio.
Yeah.
So
I've
you're
always been
like,
with my family.
okay, I have my brand new baby and I'm just going to move to Minnesota.
And then on top of that, right when we get there, training camp. So he's gone.
Yeah, for a
in the
month.
hotels for a whole month. So it was hard. And I remember like and Storm obviously felt like awful, but like, what are you going to do? You know?
Yeah, there's not much.
Yeah. So I really didn't know anybody there yet. There was only one.
You learned this time.
Yeah,
I gotta reach
sure
out
did.
before.
I made sure. But I had to call my mom a lot the first
Mom,
2 months.
What does this mean? It's what do I do?
Yeah.
Like,
and I was exhausted. But it's what we decided what we signed up for. And that's what I signed up for.
But I mean, when you think about supporting your significant other, it doesn't necessarily just mean, hey babe, I'm here for you, or like bringing him lunch or going and visiting him. It's you're at home taking care of your child together and you are not like complaining like, you need to be here. Like you are being supportive by taking care of your family.
It's something that we're still navigating around. And even though like Riker's about to be 3, which is wild to say out loud. I haven't actually said that.
We'll have to throw him a birthday party.
Just kidding. Yeah. Even the other day, Storm comes home and he's like, because he's been going in early and he's like, oh, I'm exhausted. And I was just like, so it's something we're still trying to learn because I'm like, well, obviously I'm exhausted too. And he said himself, he was like dealing with like, hanging out with the toddler all day is a different kind of exhausted. He was like, I know you're tired. Right. So it's really nice to also have like a partner who like understands that.
Instead of a partner that comes home and is like, why don't you have dinner ready? Like,
Like because I've heard horror stories and I just couldn't even imagine, but it's something that we're still learning. And I just feel like that's what, parenthood is all about. You're just like, you don't know everything and you're always like navigating things together. So it's a lot.
Yeah,
for sure.
And so obviously you guys made it through Minnesota.
Yeah.
And so how many seasons was he there?
2.
2?
I say that lightly because I think it's 2.
Eh.
It was 2.
Well, the blurry lines are fine.
Yeah, it was 2. I think they were going into the 3rd.
And so you guys put down some pretty good roots being there for you.
Oh, yeah.
And especially because you're a new mom, I'm sure once you started to meet other moms, you're like, hi, I don't know anybody here.
It was amazing. And being with the 2 other teams, Minnesota was like a treat. Like it was all the women there were amazing. All the players knew each other. Like it was an actual family, and it's amazing being here because that's what I feel like everything is here now. And I was really nervous leaving Minnesota because I was like, I'm not going to find that again.
It's crazy because you do hear like bad
Awful
stories from other girls that have came from different teams, and obviously they're always changing because the team is always changing, the wives, the families, whatever. But it is very scary to go through a transition where you're like, oh, I'm moving somewhere completely new and I don't know if these people are going to accept me. So
100%. But it's nice because I still talk to all those girls, all of them. Like it's amazing. So it's really fun, honestly. And like if you're with a good team and you like get to like make friends with everybody, it's a good time.
And it's crazy because I always worried after college, like, how am I going to make friends?
Yeah.
And like, I've always been shy. Isaac has been the opposite of shy. Yes, I have been shy.
Really?
Unless I talk to somebody and like, social media is like where I can like be myself and like talk to other people. It's like why I have a YouTube channel. It's like I can be like my raw self. But when it comes to like meeting somebody for the first time in person, I feel like I'm like kind of myself, but then I leave and I'm like, Isaac,
that's why
I said this and I think they hate me now. Like, first few times I met some of the girls here, I was like, they for sure hate me. I can't believe I said that. And Isaac's like, said what? Like, what are you talking about?
Okay, that's really funny because the reason why I wanted, like, I love
Oh God,
you
are you gonna
so
say you
much.
hated me after the first
No, God, no, are you kidding me? No, I told you. I texted Storm because I was so excited.
Because I'm.
Okay, so I found you on the Chargers page. You and Isaac were cooking.
Oh, and we cooked vegan patties, and
Vegan.
you are vegan.
I said, this is my girl right here. This is my girl already. This is her.
That is
I'm
hilarious.
clinging on right when I get there. This is happening. And then I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back before this and like read what I like. I think I responded to like one of your stories. Just like a very nonchalant slide into the DMs, like not to be weird.
Slide into the DMs, but like mature woman adults.
Yeah. But then I started watching, like after I met you, I started watching your TikToks. And I was like, okay, wait, I really like her.
Scary.
Yeah.
For some reason, I feel like my social media me and like my like in-person me are like totally different. So when someone finds me on social media, I'm like, what did you watch? Tell me so like
That's
I
how
can
I
do damage.
feel. That's how I feel.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I thought it was funny because the first time we met was at Parker's event, and I was like, obviously I was nervous. I was like going there with all the girls were there, and I sat down. I was like, and we had like said like a few things to each other, and I was like, oh, I'm good. Like this is fine.
I like got you a drink before.
Yeah, I was like, she goes, I have a margarita waiting for you. I was like, okay.
You're like, we're meant to be.
Tequila is my love language. We're good.
Same. So, I mean, obviously, okay, so backpedaling a little bit back to Minnesota. So you guys put down roots, and then when did you guys realize you were leaving?
I think it was going into the third season, and it was after like training camp and all of that.
And so they were like, you don't have a spot on the 50.
Correct.
Or the practice squad, yeah.
Anything. Yeah. So then we left, and I remember getting the call because I was actually at the mall, and I had like bought a few things. And
oh, please don't tell me you returned them.
Huh?
Did you return them?
No.
Okay.
I know. He called
Frugal
me as I was buying stuff, and I go, oh God. I was like walking out, and I was like, I'm coming right now, because he had to go in. He had to like go in.
Oh, and like give them their service or whatever.
Right, yeah. And I was like, okay. But it was sad because I was like, we literally like spend holidays. Like this is our like we felt like it is your family. Like when you're in the NFL, any team you're with, that is literally your family.
Like you
and
can't you can't go home for Christmas.
No,
you can't go home for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Even Easter.
Right.
It's like OTAs.
Nothing. You spend all of the like holidays while you're in the NFL with everyone. And so it was like hard because we were like had really good relationships. So it was difficult, but and I honestly was like, okay, so is this like over? Like in my head, these are things that I like would never say to him in the moment, but I was like, it's gonna be okay, like we're gonna be fine, like there's no way you're done, like you're not done, like you know how good you are, I know how good you are, this isn't over, just keep your head up, you'll be fine. And then he got a call from the XFL, and I was like, okay, like this is good, like he still gets to go.
Which the XFL was brand new. It was that
it was his first. It was the first year.
And there was
something else before that.
AFL, AAF.
I can't remember, but actually his friend Logan was in that the year before. And now
I think
he's
it's AFL.
And now he's the quarterback for the.
You were doing so well.
Sorry, Logan Woodside.
You were doing so well.
Tennessee.
Titans.
He is with the Titans right now.
So Logan was one of Storm's really good friends.
Yeah.
And
they played college all
so
together.
That makes sense. Okay, so then he went to the AFL, and then when Storm gets a call from the XFL, he's like, okay, this is a good opportunity.
Yes.
Okay.
100%. So, and for me, I was like, oh, great. Like, I was like, you get to like keep going out there doing what you love to do.
Like follow your dream
is
as long as you can.
Amazing. I didn't know that this was going to come out of it. I just was like, great, like you get to keep playing football, like this is going to keep going on. Well, then whatever happened with the XFL, I think it was just, I don't know if it was COVID.
And it was a blurry ending.
Yeah. But then he like got a random call, like he was still getting paid when he was home from the XFL. Then he got a call.
So he
We're
went to the
filing-
Los Angeles XFL team, right?
Los Angeles.
Did you stay out in your home in Ohio?
Yes.
Okay, so you never moved out to LA at that point?
No.
Had you visited?
Huh?
Had you visited?
No. We were going to, but then, like,
Corona.
yeah, all this stuff broke out.
Coronavirus.
Shit is real. So Storm actually had to miss Riker's second birthday because Riker's birthday is during the off season. So like all would be fine, but he had to miss it. So
because the XFL was during the, right? It was like
it's
opposite
XFL
seasons.
off season, yeah. And then his agent calls him after the XFL is done and was like, a few teams are interested. I go, shut up. And
that has just got to be such an amazing phone call.
yeah.
Especially when, I mean,
Well, we did
the XFL and the CFL, those are like both opportunities where you're like, okay, I need to like prove myself and like
Yeah.
show these teams that I'm worth it to put it on,
Yeah.
to like be on their team.
Yep.
And so when you get a phone call like that, you're just like,
It's like already like all over butterflies. Like it was insane. Well, at the time, because the XFL filed for bankruptcy, so then Storm wasn't getting paid anything, nothing. And he comes home, like he got the call while he was out grocery shopping, and he like
Did
comes
he
home
put his
and
groceries
tells
back
me-
down?
This was a big Costco run, like big, and I go, oh my god, oh my god.
Those can really rack up.
Yeah, they do. And I go, like I always do, it's going to be okay. We're going to be fine. Like, let's
Can we just say, like, what a warrior are you to just always be in the background? Like, in your head, obviously, you're thinking of, like, all the things that could happen.
Yeah.
But in the outside, you're just like, we'll
we're
figure it
fine.
out.
We'll figure it out. Like, yeah, I'm going to start, like, I'm going to start working. Like, we're going to be fine. Like, I'll, whatever.
Crazy.
And,
Not crazy that you wanted to work, but
No,
crazy
no.
that, like,
Yeah.
like, just,
Yeah.
like, so supportive and just.
yeah, it is a lot. And I really, like, for me, like, obviously I try to be there as much as I can for him, but it
Right.
helps that like he recognizes those things.
All those
Yeah.
little moments.
Yeah, he sees it because like I said, I've heard horror stories of a lot of things. But
I feel like to be unnamed, but anyway.
Tea.
There's so much tea in this episode.
So yeah, I guess the Chargers were already interested. They had to wait until he wasn't getting paid
I mean, he was
anymore.
down the street in LA. They were like, okay.
Right. And I feel like, and it was really good, how crazy that he's back in LA. He has his high school and college number back and the colors.
Really? Tea.
I mean, come on. Winner, chicken dinner.
I do want to say one little thing. Isaac was a Charger in high school,
No.
and now he's a Charger again.
No.
It's the same exact bolt.
I love that.
Shout out to Elka.
Also, how funny.
I hope they post this on their page because I know they got a Facebook page.
Post it.
Thanks.
That one's on you. That one's on me.
So-
And Storm and a lightning bolt. Come
Even
on.
more tea.
Match
Okay.
made in heaven. Can't
So,
go wrong.
Was he home when he got the phone call for
Yes.
LA? Or was it his agent that
His
called?
agent.
Obviously,
His
the
agent.
Chargers aren't be like, hey,
Right.
what are you
right.
doing?
It
Do
was
you want
his
to come out
agent.
here?
Yeah. So his agent. So the agent his agent called and was like, these teams are interested, and then it ended up being the Chargers that wanted him to come out, whatever.
What month was this? Because I want to put it into perspective.
I don't know. When COVID hit, I had no idea what was happening.
Okay, was it during COVID? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I think.
Were you able to leave your house, yes or no? Because I feel like when he got the call, I feel like you and I started talking in that point. Talking.
Yes,
We were
right.
talking.
We were talking.
And I remember the first time you and I ever discussed anything, you were like, I don't know, like, when we'll be out there. Because Corona is very prevalent.
I think it was definitely because when he came home, I think that it already hit.
Okay.
I think that might have been half the reason why the XFL stopped. I think, from what I remember.
From what I remember.
So yeah, and then we stayed here. We stayed back home.
Yeah, we're not in Ohio. We're not in Ohio anymore.
We're not in Ohio. So we stayed back home because we had just built a house, and then like we were moving. I mean, Storm and I had literally.
Did you guys always plan to build a house in Ohio?
No, it wasn't until we were still with. Actually, we were still with the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
And then when our house was being built and we left the Vikings, we stayed in an apartment while our house was being built.
Okay.
So, and I just told him, I was like, Storm and I counted the other day how many times we've moved in like 3 years. It's like 9 times.
It's so crazy how different
years.
everybody's story in the NFL is, because in the past 3 years, Isaac has lived in 2 different apartments in the same city, a mile away from each other.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
although he has gained a roommate,
Uh-huh.
well, 3 roommates, including the cat and the dog. But
Yeah.
it's just crazy. So many, like, everybody's story is just so different.
I know.
But I feel like I love Storm's story in the NFL so much. And I love, like, you both together with little Riker.
Yeah.
Because you're just, like, supporting him and the behind the scenes. And then he gets this phone call. Like, I feel like the heavens gates just, like, opened up.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow. He is going back to the NFL.
Yeah. Yep. Wild. So then he leaves.
Wild.
So wild. Like, I had no idea that was going to come out of it. No idea. And neither did he. I mean, he had hoped, but you just don't know. And like I said, like the record that we have had with the NFL, it's like, it's so hard to like
you like
keep
lose
hope.
a little bit of trust.
Yeah. And it's just like, so that we just didn't think.
It's like a
that was
boyfriend
gonna
that keeps
happen.
breaking up with you. You're like, are we together or not? I lost trust in you.
Literally. Oh my God, literally. Yeah, and so we left and we stayed back, and him and I kept having conversations because COVID was like very.
It was like brand new too.
Yeah.
So like nobody knew.
I was scared.
Like are kids more susceptible to like the horrible after effects, or are old there were
don't know.
so many unknowns and it was so new.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like took over.
For sure. And so we kept having conversations like, are we going to come out? Are Riker and I going to stay here? And I was just like, I feel more comfortable if Riker and I just stay back home because I don't know how comfortable I feel taking him on a flight. Well, as the season went by and like everything, like training camp went by, then there was more stuff out. And I was just like, okay, if you're on the practice squad again, we're going to stay home. Mm-hmm. And him and I both decided that there's no reason for us to be out here.
Right.
And we just didn't know. Like, we didn't know if he was even going to be on the practice squad, on the roster. And I remember the conversations that we kept having, and he was just like, I just feel really good about this right now.
Oh, I just got
And I was just like, okay, but keep your head, like, keep doing what you're doing. Like, don't get too excited.
Your head down, right.
Yeah. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. And he's
Can
like, no,
I
know.
just ask one small question? Because what month did he move out to California?
Why do you have to ask that question? I don't
Because
know.
I want to know how long he lived in a hotel.
Oh. End of July, when they were allowed to come out.
Oh, okay,
Right?
okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, end of July.
Because I just remember, like, obviously you're not going to grab an apartment.
Long time.
While you're.
Long time.
Yes.
But the good thing is he didn't have to share one.
You're like, why are you asking that question? You
this
know
year.
I'm unsure about a lot of things.
I'm really bad about any months or anything that happened this year. I don't know.
I'm gonna put her on blast real quick. She was like, Storm, what were we doing when we met?
Yeah.
She asked him that before she came here. Anyways.
I did, because I can't remember anything. Like, this year has messed me up so much. I'm just like,
this year has messed
I don't
everybody
know.
else.
Tequila me, please.
Like, wine, hello. I don't know. I've been drinking like all quarantine. I don't know.
No, it got bad for a second there. I was just like, ooh, I've went through like 5 bottles of tequila in 2 weeks. Let's chill out.
You like have a mental conversation. You're like, we need to relax.
Bree. Or just like waking up in the middle of the night like, okay, you're not drinking tomorrow.
Like, no.
No. Tell yourself no.
So training camp happens. I remember the video of when he told you that he had made the 53-man roster. So for those of you who aren't listening, basically the teams have, I think it's like 2 days and a few hours, so like 3 days. And by Saturday, 5 p.m., all of the teams, I don't know if it's 5 p.m. Eastern time, I think. Anyways, details. 4 days?
4 p.m.
Okay, sorry. But all of the teams have to have their 53-man rosters finalized and their practice squads finalized. So basically, if you don't receive a phone call, which I think it should be the opposite. I think you should receive a phone call saying you're on the team, but that's just my 2 cents. I don't think the NFL is going to listen to me. But so you're basically waiting to not receive a phone call, which is the opposite of the NFL draft. So you're like, okay, phone call. Okay, no, I don't want, I like literally want to turn my phone off.
No one call me.
So 4 p.m. or whatever time rolls around and he gives you a call.
Okay, let me just add.
You can preface it.
I was doing stuff all day to keep myself busy because it was the last day. I was just like making myself a list of everything that I could do in one day. And at the time, he would call me. He just calls me throughout the day, which is, great, fine, and dandy any other day. But at the time, I was mowing the lawn. Have you ever mowed the lawn with a phone in your hand? Don't recommend. I had the volume on high and vibrate on high.
She had like one AirPod in.
Just waiting. And I thought I heard my phone vibrate, and I did. And I was just like, hello? And he goes, like, hey.
Turn off the lawnmower.
Hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, nothing, just mowing the lawn. He goes, oh, okay, like, how's your day? I'm like, Storm Norton, don't call me anymore today ever again unless you get a phone call, or if you don't get a phone call. Thank you. And he goes, okay, sounds good. Talk to you later. I'm like, okay, love you, bye. Hangs up.
He's like, dang, what am I supposed to do the rest of
the day? An hour later, I get a phone call. And I was just like, okay, I told him not to call me. This has to be the phone call. I answer the phone, and I was like, hello. And he goes, I made the roster. And I was just like, oh. I fell to the ground. I laid down. I was just like.
Well, you put it on your Instagram story and you had screamed and your neighbor was like, I heard you.
Yeah. My neighbor was like, my neighbors were waiting. Like they knew. And because I ended up going outside and she goes, that was good news. That was a good news scream. And I was like, yep. So yeah, he was just like, it's just wild to go as long as he's been in the NFL and then to finally make the roster after I truly don't know anyone more deserving than him.
Oh, that's
I just don't. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's been through it. He has.
And that's why I love this story is because that's just insane. But he never gave up. He continued working his ass off.
Yeah.
And he was like, XFL, that's not beneath me. I'm going to go and I'm going to work my ass
100%.
off and deserve a spot.
And that's exactly how he looked at it. He was just like, I'm taking this opportunity. And that's the thing. He took every single one. Every single one. And honestly, his first year, he was just like, this is awful. Like, this is, well, who wouldn't say that?
Right.
Like, so many teams in 1 year. Like, that's a lot of moving. And we were pregnant. He was just like, this is so bad. And I was just like, it's going to be okay. It's going to work itself out. Just, you're going to be fine.
Can I put you in my back pocket whenever I'm feeling bad about myself? Yes, you can.
Yes.
So now you guys are with the 53-man roster with the Chargers.
Yeah.
We can't go to any games. The season may look a little bit different.
God, it's killing me.
But I feel like it's so nice that we have a good group of girls.
Yeah, 100%.
Because, I mean, everybody on the Chargers is just so welcoming. Or at least that's my perspective of
100%. 100%. And I really I don't. And it's also different because I have a child and it's really great to be able to have other girls be welcoming with that and have other girls who also have children.
And are also young moms as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's
shout out Jackie.
Jackie Trinkle. What's up? Little Eli.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to have you here.
Thank you. We're both really happy to be here. We love it.
Still need to meet him. But
yeah.
Moving on from that. So I feel like we didn't even talk that much about you because I know because we are friends, that you have been going to school while Storm has been out in LA, while you're watching your child, while with 2 dogs, while with a home and upkeeping.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, like, how do you do it, number one? And number two, like, you deserve all the credit in the world because, like, being supportive, being a mom, dog mom, just, like, let's hype you up for a minute.
Okay.
I'm a dog mom, and I own an
Yeah.
apartment, and that's a lot.
I just feel like I don't, not that I don't want this to come off the wrong way. I don't have a choice. If it's not me, then who?
Yeah.
I mean, and even when Storm is home, it's still like.
No, because I saw you always grinding, even when he was home.
Yeah, always. I really try to prioritize my time. And I
Can you
truly,
teach me how?
Yeah.
Can you please write a book?
I'm trying.
Right?
Yeah, I have a schedule, and that's just what works for me. A lot of people are like, I can't do that, and I'm like, I don't know what I would do without a schedule. Like, I really don't. And
I need to make a schedule.
No, you don't. You don't have any reason to make a schedule right now.
Oh, but I do.
Yeah, you are busy. You're busy.
I just like look up at 4 p.m. and I'm like, what did I just do for the past 8 hours? And then Isaac comes home and he's like, what did you do for the past 8 hours? And I have to pull something out of my asshole, and I'm just like, this is what I did, this is what I did, this is what I did. And then I look up and I'm like, I literally filmed TikToks for 4 hours. That's what I did.
I have those days where I'm just like entertaining, and that's all I do. Like entertaining our child, and that's all I do.
Which takes a lot of work.
Yes, 100%.
But so you are going
the monstrous of our child. That takes a lot.
I love Riker. But so you are going to school and you're getting certified in like nutrition.
Yeah.
You can correct me because I'm probably wrong.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Certified holistic nutritionist.
I need you in
and
my life.
Wellness coach. Yeah.
So you're vegan. Has your veganism rubbed off on Storm?
100%.
It's so interesting because when I went plant-based, I was like, Isaac, your inflammation is flaring up. You should probably try cutting meat and dairy out of your diet. And he did it, and he was like, I feel amazing. Oh,
Storm was right on board. It took 1 day. Like literally one.
Such a bandwagoner. Stop copying me.
I know. But it's really great that I had found that, especially being a new mom, because I'm able to instill that into Riker being so young. They do still eat fish. Storm loves his eggs, but that's it.
That's amazing, though.
That's literally it. It was such an easy transition for him. Although I will say, when he was with the XFL, we actually got into a fight about this. A actual fight.
Was there steak involved? Was
they did not provide any. There was not even any seafood options.
So it was just chicken and steak, basically.
Yes. Do you know? I said, you can surely go out and get some takeout from somewhere else and not eat the food there, right? And he goes, Breanna, I have this food right in front of me. I'm like, I don't care. I cannot believe they don't have.
condone this behavior.
No, I had to call one of my best friends.
Oh, they're going to say the team.
No, I had to call one of my best friends. It was like,
thank God you didn't call the team.
I wanted to. I was like, how dare you? What if this is against someone's actual religion?
That's true. Very true.
I'm like, are they serious right now? I was actually upset. Actually upset.
So you have to call your best friend and you're like, please calm me down.
She goes, are you seriously upset about this? And I was like, are you seriously not backing me up on this right now? It was a fight. It was a fight. So funny. He's going to hear this and be like, oh, yeah, that was awful. Because I was actually really upset.
He's sitting in this different state eating this piece of chicken. And he's just like,
yeah. Oops. Yeah, for sure. No, he didn't eat steak. He was just eating chicken. Okay. Which is fine. It's fine. We're good.
Well, I mean, Storm honestly seems like a character. He seems like he has such a funny personality. I know you said he's kind of shy, but once you get to know him, I mean, obviously you're his wife.
He's very goofy.
And that's adorable. But tell us one thing that nobody knows about the Storm Norton.
I feel like some people do know. He wears a size 18 shoe, which is absolutely
What does that look like?
insane. Well, our friends will come over and be like, oh, yep, this is their place. I see Storm's massive shoes out here.
Is that like the size of your forearm?
They're boats. It's a boat. Yeah, actually, no, it's longer than my forearm. I'm sure of it. And you want to know what comes with big feet?
Do I or do I not?
Big socks.
I've never heard that. You haven't? No.
That's Storm's
And I have pretty big feet.
No, you don't.
I have a size 11.
Okay, that's pretty big. Pretty
Yeah,
big.
I know I used to be insecure about it, but now I've realized
Oh, that's okay. But you're
Comes with
tall.
the height.
You're tall. That's why it doesn't look like you have big feet.
when Isaac and I first met, well, actually, when Isaac's dad and I first met, Isaac's dad looked at me and goes, she'll make some good kids.
Oh my God.
I go, oh my God, this is literally the first time we met, and I'm 19 years old. Shout out Big Steve. Love him. Future father-in-law. I can't wait.
Oh my
but
God.
the first thing he was like, she's got big hands, big feet. I go, oh God.
I am the complete opposite.
Because how tall are you?
I'm only 5'2". My feet are 6.5.
What is the height difference between you and Storm?
He's 6'8", and I'm 5'2".
6'8"? Mm-hmm. Oh.
The questions that like random people would just give us right off the rip is
like-
a little concerning.
You're like, we do not know y'all like that.
Yeah, I don't know you like that, but it's like literally normal.
You're like answering the
It's
question, it's still normal.
Fine. Yeah, it's pretty
And
funny.
before we end, Riker is probably taller than you at this point, and he's what, 3?
He'll be 3 in March.
And he's
Yeah.
how tall is he?
This dude is wild. And I
and
don't
I just want to add,
say
he's
that
off
lightly.
the charts. Like not even in the 99th percent or
No,
like
there's no percentile for his height right currently. But he wears a size 5T for a shirt, and he's 2.
is that the same size feet that you have? Like
Right? I could probably fit into a shirt. Just kidding.
I swear, I
couldn't.
think you may have
But-
tried one on one time.
And within the next like 2 years, he'll be carrying me, and I won't be carrying him. I can't lift him anymore. I can't do it.
You're just
I can possibly curl him, but I can't carry him. I can't do it.
he is just like a spinning image of his father.
100%, especially the way that they stand. Storm always says this. I was like, babe, he has your because Storm's legs, if he's standing just straight, his legs go in, right? Because he's so tall. And
Body's got to give somewhere.
Riker,
His body is just like, I am tired.
I'm literally dead. And it is his knees that are tired.
He's like,
Literally.
I'm tired.
And then Riker, if he just stands there and they just go in, and I'm like, oh my God.
Like starting young.
Yeah, like already starting.
You're like, we got to get some knee
And
braces on you.
honestly, I was scared. Okay, it randomly hit me, just like a little side note. It hit me randomly while I was like halfway through my pregnancy. I looked at Storm and I go, oh boy. I'm carrying this monster child, and I'm just now realizing
You're
this.
like, I don't think I'm ready to deliver this. And he's like, babe, it's coming out one way or another. Like,
boy.
get ready for it.
It hit me real late.
Oh my God, that
Yeah.
is hilarious. Well, I have enjoyed thoroughly talking to you.
Thank
and it's
you.
crazy because I feel like we've known each other for so long, but
Yeah.
we just met. But after like this conversation, I'm just like, it's crazy. Like we're already BFFs.
100%. Yeah.
But I really appreciated you coming here, even though I know you were super nervous.
I was. Ooh.
We might have to ask them to cut some things out. But hey, tea.
Tea.
But thanks for coming on.
Thank you for asking me to do it.
Of course. And cheers to the rest of the season.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Social distancing cheers.